where do we go from here? How do we overcome, adapt, and thrive in a time of COVID? How do we look beyond the chaos that's occurring today to gain confidence in the future? I'm Andy Bush, and my job right now is to answer these questions for you. In this short video, we're going to answer where do we go from here and explore Most everyone can remember their very first concert that they went to. I know I can. It was Marshall Tucker, and it was crazy. Everybody was going nuts, and I even rushed the stage. But today, can you remember the last concert you went to? It almost feels the same way, like it was a long time ago. How about a sporting event, or a play, or a movie? In March, April, and May, I know I had serious withdrawal symptoms from no live sports. I actually watched European soccer as soon as it came on. I was completely desperate. And like so many sectors, entertainment industry has been desperate too and has been slammed by the virus and the shutdown. Forms of live entertainment that depend on attracting large crowds in spaces will likely remain off the calendar until well into 2021. You know, as an example, 2018 was a record year for U.S. domestic box office, and 2019 was about 5% behind it. But 2020 is going to see the lowest box office since 1981. Music, theater, sporting events, TV, movies have all been changed and changed permanently. But entertainment also had trends supercharged that were in place prior to the outbreak and are helping the industry survive now. Like leisure and hospitality and transportation, the entertainment industry is struggling to redefine their sales and distribution channels. Professional sports like NHL, NBA, and Major League Baseball all struggled to find a path forward. But player unions and owners adapted by modifying their regular season schedule and then created a bubble safety zone to keep the virus out. Yes, that meant no fans, no beer vendors, no hot dogs, and no brats. Disappointing, I know. But no crowds also meant a very different vibe for watching a game at home with an empty ballpark and no energy from the fans to help rally the home team. You know, eventually baseball stadiums had to add crowd noise to drown out the players chirping at each other so they couldn't hear each other and get in fights like the Chicago Cubs and the Milwaukee Brewers did. For movies, many states have a 50% rule for attendance at theaters, and New Jersey's only at 25%, and LA and New York City don't even allow attendance. California, New York, and North Carolina all missed the big Labor Day weekend movie release time. But hope did rise when AMC announced that 70% of the locations were going to be open, and their share prices spiked on the news. But it didn't last long. After Regal opened up their theaters in August, they announced that they were closing back down again in October. Their CEO, Mookie Grinddigger, said, "We're like a grocery shop that doesn't have vegetables, fruit, and meat. We can't operate for a long time without a product." Now, he made this comment after many big movies, like the James Bond movie, No Time to Die, and Marvel's spin-off, Black Widow, were pushed to 2021. There have been winners in this space, no doubt. I mean, streaming services like Netflix, Hulu, and Disney Plus were the big winners as subscriptions soared and movies like Mulan and Trolls World Tour were released online. This also changed the revenue sharing between studios and theaters, giving studios a big advantage and a bigger slice of the pie. Skipping over to music, one of the amazing cultural phenomenons is K-pop out of South Korea. Now, BTS song Dynamite set a YouTube record with 101 million views within the first 24 hours and underscores the power of that platform for entertainment. But music performers make their biggest money from live concerts, not sales of music. And over 70% of musicians' income come from touring. You know, at the beginning of April, Pollstar's preliminary gross revenue projections for Q1 top 100 tours were estimated to be up 11% over 2019. But with the shutdown, the top 100 could lose $9 billion this year. And these shows are only 51% of the total grosses. I mean, the Wall Street Journal said that the industry should have had a massive year, like $30 billion, a record. Hey, raise your hand if you had tickets to Elton John's Farewell Yellow Brick Road tour, or Metallica, or Billie Eilish. Now remember, these tours hire thousands of people to provide security, parking, food vendors, even the guys selling counterfeit t-shirts in the parking lot need to come back. Now, according to the National Association of Music Merchants, North America employs 12 million people with a combined economic impact of about $1 trillion. As a solution, live streaming was the best way to get bands in front of audiences again. So here's a dope example. Dropkick Murphys live streamed a single performance on St. Patrick's Day in Fenway Park. They did one more live stream show and a special that netted them 50% of what they would have made for an entire year of touring for merchandise. And that gives any musician hope. So in this part, what you're going to see here is how different sectors of entertainment borrow concepts from each other and outside of the entertainment world to find a way to survive. So what are some of the cool current adaptations? Well, here's one. NoCap. All right, NoCap is attempting to improve online streaming for artists by having their stream their locations from a recording studio or a home or from a venue like the Roxy in West Hollywood. It's taking the concept that pro sports came up with and expanding it, right? It's a mashup of the digital space and in-person visual called live medium. Another trend that was in place prior to COVID and was supercharged afterwards is the digitization of movies and movie sets. It's like the robots of agriculture. It's a way to keep people safe and reduce costs. Now, the vast improvement in virtual reality is the driving force behind all of this. Studios can reduce risk of the virus by creating bubble environments for crew and actors of the film being made, just like pro sports. Then they use green screen with LED lights to produce sets that they can change in real time with the film, right? Eventually, maybe they can even change the clothes that the actors are wearing. It's out of control. Wow. And with the development of VR, all live stream events will bring an ability to bring audiences to new levels of engagement where they can interact with the performer and other fans, even creating digital concerts where you can attend as your avatar and gain the feeling of really being there. And if you think this is crazy, creative artists just signed their first virtual client artist, Little Makila, who is a CGI influencer. Mind blown, right? This could be a solution for brands as photo shoots are canceled and traditional media channels become less relevant. Advertisers are likely to rethink who and what they use for branding. And a bonus is that a visual artist will have no messy personal life wrecking the brand. Also, this VR technology can be used at sporting events, whether live or at home. You'll have the ability to have an enhanced fan experience and in-game feel. Maybe you can see the game from Patrick Mahomes' helmet, or be able to watch the coach pick a play and then be the receiver catching the ball. Now that would be outrageous. The entire concept is to keep the fan happy, engaged, and never leaving the event. Now, if all of this sounds like gaming, you're right on. That industry was a big winner during the shutdown and after today. Gaming VR headsets range from $300 to $1,300 and are driving growth in sales as gaming moves from clicks on a phone and laptop to immersive and physical. Notice how gaming is going mainstream with tournament streaming and old school stations like ESPN having them on. That's pretty nice. Tech Geek reminder, if it wasn't for the GPU chips used in gaming, we wouldn't have massive jumps in AI. So yeah, we're keeping an eye on gaming to lead advances in this space. COVID set the entertainment industry for a thumbs down at the box office. The entire model has changed with studios gaining power and theaters shutting down. But it also supercharged the digital trends in place and is providing a path forward for the industry. In our country, there are opportunities for innovation, creativity, and service, and none is greater than those in entertainment. As I always say, we're a nation of adapters, overcomers, and thrivers, and that's always the good news. All right, next week, we'll answer the question, where do we go from here for elections? So you're going to want to check that out. If you want to get these videos every week, click on the subscribe button. If you like this show, click on the next video, and I'll see you in it. You can get all of my research at andrewbush.com. I'm Andy Bush. Thanks for watching.